Okay, now it's strange. This wasn't the DLC I expected, not for a story born from the movie that dragged Dragon Ball back from the edge and carried it into the renaissance of the 2010s. A celebration of Battle of Gods felt like the obvious path, and yet instead we were handed something different. A distilled boss battle gauntlet, a detour from the narrative warmth Kakarot built its legacy on. Sure, it lets you break the timeline in hilarious ways, unlocking the godly form so early you could practically vaporize Raditz with Divine Ki, but still something feels missing the moment you step into this. The first DLC for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot arrived on April 28th, 2020. It was a small doorway into something huge, at least that's what it promised. A new power, a new chapter, a chance to step beyond the story we already know, but what we ultimately got was something far stranger. A Spark Note retelling of Battle of the Gods wrapped in the language of a training montage. And yet, buried under its thin storytelling, past its rough edges, was a strange little pocket of Dragon Ball lore that still carried its own warmth. Now, instead of the chaos of Bulma's birthday party or the suspense of Beerus' long-awaited awakening, the DLC pulls us out of Earth entirely. Goku and Vegeta are whisked away to the planet of the God of Destruction, waking up as confused as the player. It's a quiet, empty world, no party guests, no tension, no prophecy, just the sound of wind, the hum of divine energy, and Whis smiling like he already knows how this all ends.
Why? Why on earth did you call us here? And how the hell do you know who we are? I don't recall ever meeting anyone like you before.
That's perfectly sensible considering, especially given the fact that this is the first time we've met one another, Vegeta. However, I didn't summon you here for mere small talk.
Then why did you bring us here?
It's simple, really. I'm fascinated by the considerable amount of power you two possess, and your desire to attain even more.
Huh? From the very first moment, it's clear. This is not Battle of Gods, this is a training story disguised as a movie adaptation. Whis becomes the narrator here, the mentor and the entire driving force of the DLC. Every step you take, every challenge you face, every moment of growth you have comes through him. Goku and Vegeta are here not to avert a disaster, but to chase something beyond themselves, something neither of them can put into words just yet. Instead of the ritual defining the story, the DLC reframes godhood as a test. Whis challenges Goku and Vegeta through a series of escalating battles that progressively get more difficult. Every time you win, he gives you sacred water, a leveling shortcut. The player now is encouraged to grind, and yes, I do mean grind. You are here for hours. Whis himself isn't much to fear at first. He's gentle, almost playful, right up until he decides he's going to use his surge mode, and suddenly the screen erupts into drifting key mines and swarms of glowing orbs, turning the battlefield into chaos. His patterns don't evolve much as you climb through these ranks, but every so often he'll slip your attacks with that serene, ultra instinct-like shimmer around him. A brief reminder of the gulf between the mortals and the angels. Now, for many players, this became the defining criticism of this DLC. The long stretches of repetitive battles masking a very short story. A DLC that could be completed in about an hour if you rushed and several hours if you sat there grinding. Eventually, after enough battles, enough leveling, enough sacred water, Whis finally allows the ritual of the Super Saiyan God to unfold. Now, these moments are brief, almost startling in how quickly they pass, but there's still something undeniably poetic about seeing the families gather on this planet for this ritual.
So this is what it's like to be a Super Saiyan God.
I've been waiting a long time for this.
Sorry for the wait, Lord Beerus, but at least you can fight me for real now.
It's been quite some time since I've had a proper challenge. I may struggle to contain my power at first. My apologies if I accidentally kill you.
Don't worry. I'm not going down so easy this time.
Huh. Someone's rather confident, aren't they? But can your power possibly match that confidence? You're finally a god now, so you'd better not disappoint me.
Right. Let's do this, Lord Beerus.
I hope this proves to be a good time, Goku.
Whis brings future Trunks here for this ritual. Videl and Gohan are still in high school. No baby Pan to save them. Whis breaks the timeline rules established in the Goku Black arc so that Beerus can have his opponent. Now the real heart of this DLC is Beerus. Not the Beerus remembered from later arcs of Super, but this early era, effortlessly lethal, virtually untouchable god. Even in the DLC, it feels like he did back when he was first shown to the world. Back when we were all shown that he was on the top of the totem pole. And this fight is hard. It demands timing, precision, patience. The game really wants you to know that Beerus is the strongest foe you have ever faced and will ever face. This is a skill test. A complete reality check. I've talked about how Boo made you stop mashing buttons, but here you actually have to pay attention. And credit where credit is due, when the DLC finally let loose, it does so beautifully. The animations during both Goku and Vegeta's battle with Beerus are generally breathtaking. Some of the cleanest in this entire game. Every clash, every burst of godly ki tells just how overwhelmingly powerful these two Saiyans have become. Yet Beerus never once feels diminished. He stands there untouched, unbothered, and almost amused, an unmoving reminder of the gap they still can't cross. Now the DLC may not tell the story of Battle of Gods, but in this one boss fight it understands the spirit of it. Once Beerus falls, once the ritual ends, once the training is done, the Super Saiyan God transformation becomes permanent, a skill you can use in the main game. It also includes new moves for Goku and Vegeta and extra combo enhancers you can unlock. Now even if the DLC itself is short, even if the story is thin, it leaves a lasting imprint on the entire Kakarot experience. Now in the end, a new Power Awakens feels like a contradiction. Beautifully animated transformation scenes, generally fantastic boss fights, a great power-up that improves the whole game but almost no story, and a grind-heavy structure that drags that magic down. It feels less like a DLC and more like a prologue, and maybe that's why fans walked away split. Some grateful for the new mechanics, others disappointed by the narrative shortcuts. Now I missed this DLC when it first dropped, and because I've been playing Kakarot in strict chronological order, my experience with this game has been shaped by the later expansions. The ones that dive deep into full story arcs and raise the ceiling for what this game can be. So coming back to this, it feels strange. Almost like stepping backwards in a time and an era before Kakarot found its own rhythm. In a way, seeing this DLC in a reverse makes it easier to understand why the later ones are so praised. Now this was that first spark of something more, a single step into the divine before the real journey began. And that brings us right back to where we started. Because even after all that sacred water, the quiet battles on Beerus' world, and that fleeting taste of godhood, this still isn't the DLC I once hoped for. It was sold as a boss battle challenge, and in that narrow lane it delivers, but a part of me couldn't help wondering what it could have been. A true celebration of the film that resurrected Dragon Ball and breathed life into an entire era. A strange DLC, a flawed DLC, but a piece of the journey nonetheless. But what do you think? Do you guys like this DLC, or is this something that you guys skip? Or do you use it entirely just to level up for a new playthrough of the game? I'd love to hear you guys' comments on this. Drop them down below. If you like what you see here, leave a like, sub if you want to see more. Drop a metal cooler in the chat. Till next time, y'all have a damn good one. Peace.